So happy to take part in. This is the first actually online event for me in 2021, and we all have big hopes for 2021. That first of all, the world will come back to normal, and we business professionals will be able to travel and meet our clients and each other at the offline events. So. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to everyone. So, я буду говорить на русском языке.
I'm going to speak English and my presentation is in Russian. I'm going to speak Russian. My presentation is in Russian, and it is my pleasure that my presentation about the USA is going to touch on a very important event in our history, our new president-elect Joe Biden, that has high hopes relating to the immigration. And I'm going to discuss what we are expecting from new administration, from the new president, especially in the sphere of immigration. Please allow me to begin my presentation, ladies and gentlemen. I represent CMB Regional Centers, and we are based in Rock Island, Illinois. We have another office in Dallas, Texas, and we are providing investment opportunities for persons looking for permanent residency in the US and US citizenship through EB-5 investment program. First of all, I would like to tell you that many people select the United States for various reasons. And one reason why the US is very attractive for investors is to the high quality of life, best universities, lots of opportunities for people to open their own businesses, various climates. You are able to reside in the northern US states and enjoy all the 4 seasons of the year, or you can select the warmer climes of California, Texas, or Florida. So I would like to please note that many people select the United States and move to the United States, open new businesses. This is the future for themselves, for their children. It's a fateful decision for every family taking part in EB-5 program. On the screen, you see the slide where in red you see the key point of the day. The issue of the day is how will the US change under Biden's administration? And this is the red line running through my presentation. These are most frequently asked questions by investors and clients, and it's a tip for you to the questions you should ask when looking into this program, EB-5. So the question is, how will the US change under President Biden? I have asked the colleagues from Bosco Conference to conduct a short online survey, which will consist of 2 short questions. First question, are you interested in the US as a place of residence? And if yes, please enter number 1 into the chat, and no will be number 2. So yes 1, 2, no if you're interested in residing in the USA, and if you have high hopes related to Biden's administration, you can put 1 and plus. Yes and 2 is no. Please use the chat. I'll be very happy and thankful if you take part in this short survey. Thank you. Now, what does the green card afford you? The green card provides you multiple opportunities for residing in the United States. First of all, this is residing at any location in the US. You don't need to extend or prolong the green card. 5 years after receiving the green card, you're able to apply for US citizenship in a quite straightforward process. Those green card holders studying in the state of residence pay much less in tuition fees compared to international students, so to speak. This is another important point. And another question that people often ask is, what are the obligations of the green card holders? It's an important question. First of all, green card holders should reside in the US not less than 6 months per year. And secondly, following receiving the green card, you become the US taxpayer, so you should reveal and disclose all of your international income to the IRS in the United States. So there is a certain category of individuals that don't feel really comfortable with this reporting and disclosure obligations. However, on the other hand, there are clients that say that they're not really interested in a green card, but they need it for their wife or children, and we're seeing a number of such investors. The next question is, what is EB5 visa? EB5 is a green card through investments. This is a investment program for investments. The investment threshold is $900,000 if the project is in a high unemployment or target employment area. If the investment project is not in the target employment area, so the threshold rises to $1,800,000. But if you're looking at the EB5 program, you're looking at various projects, and everything you're going to see are investment offers from 900K. There are 10,000 visas per year. It's quite a large number. This is the quota. And from year 2013 to year 2019, we saw more petitions than actual immigration. US immigration was able to issue green cards. So due to that, quite an extensive backlog had been created, especially from the countries that are the key markets for the EB5 program, speaking of China and India. For this reason, one of the expectations that we anticipate is the reform, the new legislation on the EB5 in 2021, and we're hoping to see larger visa quotas for more green cards under EB5. We see another question for other ways to obtain a green card. Well, we all heard of the lottery. You're able to play the lottery. It still exists. And I know that some of my investors actually even had applied and played in the lottery. But however, they played for a while and then they decided to go for EB5. And following their investments next year, one family had actually received a green card from the lottery. So it does happen actually in an interesting way. Now, EB5 is a program for targeted employment, for creating workplaces. It means that your investment should create 10 workplaces. You won't be able to receive your permanent green card without that. And I would also know that EB5 is not an investment program as such, but an immigration program targeted on creating employment in the US. This is the US government viewpoint of the program. So workplaces are created if you are working and investing through regional centers such as CMB. For you, this will be passive investment, so to speak. You invest your funds into a partnership, you park your money in a partnership for a certain period of time, you're able to do your own thing, and the investment is going to work for you in a way that is going to be spent on construction of an object, of a project. It will create workplaces during construction. So the regional center will undertake the obligation to create the necessary number of workplaces for you to obtain your green card. The US government has developed the program so that it is a risky program. Investments are always a risk.
Investment is always risk, and there's always opportunity to invest in a project that will not provide enough profits. And you may not return your money in full, or you can lose investment in full. So the purpose of each investor is to study the project and experience of the regional center, to see that the regional center has experience obtaining petition approvals for investments and return on investment. Therefore, you need to get partnership documents for your project that you plan to invest to and scrutinize it, and the regional center should respond to all questions that you may have. What are the risks and how to reduce risks? It's a key question asked by almost all potential investors. The risk is that, as I mentioned, you invest in the project, investment project may turn out unprofitable, and that means, for example, in 2020, due to COVID, many real estate sectors became unprofitable or not so profitable as they used to be. So if you consider projects in hospitality, in hotel real estate or residential real estate, please carefully study the market and the impact of COVID on the specific city and make a decision. The level of risk is reduced by the fact that there are certain mechanisms of risk mitigation. For example, in our partnerships, there's always liens and collaterals from developers, and EB5 program usually offer low interest rates, annual interest, so that developer doesn't have a burden to pay annual interest rates, and while construction is ongoing, and developer only has expenses but no profits, no incomes from this project. And this slide is very important in order to understand how our regional center selects projects and to offer projects for investors. First, we work with developers, and they contact us to our regional center and offer a project. It's looking for financing for construction, and we are looking at the quality of developer and project. In order for the project to be in line with EB5 investors' goals, and so that to create more employment, more jobs than required to have. And we see whether the borrower can return the money, whether the company is large enough, and whether they have balance sheet large enough and experience constructing many years, liens, and usually we have a guarantee of construction completion from developer is very important for creating jobs. We also look in market analysis by a third party. People often ask whether the goals of investors and regional center match, and in this case we represent an independent regional center. We are not representing any developers. Developers contact us, and that's very important for investors to understand on which side is the regional center. It may happen that major construction company sees that they can use this scheme of the regional center in order to get cheaper loans, because in principle EB5 loan is cheaper than a bank loan. Therefore, this developer may create their own regional center, and this would be affiliated structure. And we consider that regional center should represent the interests of investors. And if developer has any issues with the project and with the return of investment, the investor should be represented by the regional center, and the regional center should require from developer perform their obligations. Main goals of investors EB5 is obtaining a green card. Each person making EB5 investment and making it not to get profit, but first of all to obtain a green card. As I said, annual profit is not the main purpose of EB5 investors. Many people ask in principle that they want to obtain a green card and significant profit, whether it's possible. Unfortunately, the proposals on the market like that, especially now, are not available. If you want to get profit and a green card, there should be two separate investment projects. One is for a green card, that should be safe and secure, and the second to receive profit. By the way, we have a sister capital, NHK Capital Partners, that was created a few years ago because many of our investors received return on investment on EB5, and they contacted us with request to assist, help about further investments. And this NHK company now offers investment proposals for investing in construction of Marriott Hotel in Dallas, and the annual returns more than 10%. And it is expected that in 5 years, when there's exit of investors, the investors will double their investment capital. So this is step by step flowchart of EB5 process. It consists of several parts. First step is when you plan to obtain a green card, you study investment projects, you hire your own immigration attorney in the United States, and file a petition. Second step, number 2, is expecting petition processing. Now it takes 2 years, and if you make it now, you can receive approval of your petition in the end of 2022 or beginning of 23. After your petition is approved, and if you are already in the US, your visa status is changed to permanent, you receive your green card. If you live in your own country, it's going to be consular processing. You will have immigration interview in the US consulate. After that, you can arrive in the US, you will get an entry visa, and during 6 months, you will have to arrive in the US as immigrants. So the time of wait now, if you make EB5, You can come to the US if you apply for a visa today or make a petition. You come to the US in 23. So this is the time of waiting. When you arrive in the US, your green card is for 2 years. So the point is that in 2 years, you have to make another petition and show that you perform 2 conditions to get a permanent green card. First condition, the Migration Service will see that you invested and you were in the risky investment project, and second, that you created 10 jobs. Again, you make a petition after 2 years of residence with conditional temporary green card and this expectation period. In considering second petition, when you get a approval of your second petition, your process is completed of immigration successfully, and all this time now takes 6, maybe 7 years. It is in line with the investment period, so the investment period is 6 years or less, so you can get your money back when before completing your immigration process. You can get your money when you make a second petition and expect its approval. So this is our company that employs about 50 people, and our founder and head, Pat Hogan, is one of the most respected experts in EB5. He created CMB in '97, and CMB is a major regional center in the United States. Besides that, Pat Hogan is the owner of the main auction for collection guns. You see on the slide his website. Our next auction of this company will take place in the beginning of February. You can take part if you are interested in collection guns. It's very interesting to take part in these auctions. Our statistics of success and approvals of petition and return of investment. You see, we have many investors, 5,700 EB5 investors from more than 100 countries. More than 1,600 people already received return on capital. Almost 5,000 people got approvals of their first petition, a conditional green card, and more than 1,500 people were approved with a second petition and completed their immigration journey. So what is petition 526 and 829? That's respectively 526 is conditional green card, 829 is permanent green card. The difference in statistics that due to the fact that between the first approval, first petition to the second takes several years, 2 years of living with green card and expecting approval of the second petition. This is our structure of our partnerships, which is applicable to all partnerships. We made more than 70 partnerships, and you have limited partnerships of CMB as general partner of CMB, and a certain number of investors that invest money in partnerships, and partnerships lend money to developer. There's a loan agreement signed between developer and usually returns the money in full in 6 years. We have the option of earlier return, but we don't have the option of extending the loan further. And when the money is returned, investors vote to exit from partnerships and receiving their investment funds to their own bank accounts. This is a very simple structure. There are other structures and other regional centers. Some regional centers offer stock holdings, and when you get stocks, when you exit from your company, and your investment can be sold or held, but the loan is easier. You don't have to sell anything. There is obligations of developer to return the loan in full. And all our partnerships went through the audit of third parties so that we can prove to all investors that want to verify our statistics of our success. So our current project is a group of 75. It's a logistics project which is built next to the airport of Detroit in Michigan. And the developer is a Hillwood company, which is one of the largest companies in the United States, multi-billion turnover, very experienced company, and we work with Hillwood for many partnerships. This is our 30th partnership with Hillwood, and you see the statistics of success of our cooperation with Hillwood. Already 14 partnerships received a return of EB5 loan from Hillwood. This is logistics project that have signed rent agreement with a major company, online trade in the US. And this is adding to project reliability because it's clear that agreement already signed and available, and the money will be paid for rent. This where EB5 debt will be repaid. This is a location of our project and statistics for creating jobs. For capital for construction, you see there is a bank loan received by a developer, and EB5 loan 26,100,000. These are 29 investors, and we already signing investors. There's a large interest to this project because logistics, especially during COVID times, is very successful in developing business. Many people and more people are buying goods online. Therefore, during COVID, the logistics facilities are very much in demand. If you have any questions, I will be ready to have individual consultations with you. These are my contact details, the email, phone numbers. Please call me. I'll be glad to help you to realize your dreams. And that's I'm about to, yeah. Well, thank you, Vitaly, but we don't let you go because in your program, always questions about your program. And we have questions that were sent before the conference and questions that we received now. Let's start with the questions from Oshada. Is it right that those who want to immigrate become the borrower for the lender for a developer? Is it possible to take part in equity, and whether projects initiated by potential immigrants are considered? I would interpret this question, Elshan. He wants to make an independent investment. Yes, it's possible. It's called direct AB5. You can open your own company and hire 10 people, and during 2 years, while you have this green card, these 10 people should work on your company full-time. So these investments are also available. There are not so many of them. Statistically, I would say 3% make direct EB5. The other 97 prefer to make it via regional centers because it's a passive investment. In order to develop your own business, you have to know how it works here. If you have experience living in the United States, then you can go this path and become manager of your own investment and receive both profit and a green card if your business is qualified for EB5. And a couple of words, because we all hear about two visas that start with EB2 and EB5. So, a couple of words. Can you say what is better, what is faster? A couple of words.
So, just a few words, short comment. I think we're speaking of E2, EB2. EB2 is a work visa. You have to be employed by a large company, and the company will get the green card for you since you're a valued employee. A lot has been said about E2 investors visa recently. It is popular because E2 is processed much quicker compared to EB5. The threshold of investments is much lower, from 100 through to 200k to qualify for E2 visa. However, EB5 is a permanent visa and E2 is only temporary visa, which may last for 2 years depending on the country of residence. Some countries, for instance, such as Russia, do not have a treaty with the US on E2, so there is an option of applying for Caribbean citizenship and then E2 application as a Grenada citizen. So there are pros and cons. You have to basically select what is best for you, E2 or EB5. Thank you very much, Vitaly. Dear friends, if you do have any questions remaining, you see Vitaly's contact details up on screen. The organizers will also be share them with you. If you do have any questions, Vitaly will be very happy to answer any questions and advise you with any queries you may have. Thank you once again, Anastasia. Thank you.